In some cases, coffee may be good for health, as it may offer benefits such as lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes and helping people lose weight. Worldwide, experts estimate that people consume around 2.25 billion cups of coffee per day. Researchers have looked at the benefits of drinking coffee for conditions such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and liver disease. There is evidence to support some, but not all of these claims. Coffee contains a number of useful nutrients, including riboflavin, vitamin B2, niacin, vitamin B3, magnesium, potassium, and various phenolic compounds, or antioxidants. Some experts suggest that these and other ingredients in coffee can benefit the human body in various ways. This video looks at the possible health benefits of drinking coffee, the evidence supporting those benefits, and the risks of drinking coffee. By the way, friends, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also click on the bell so you don't miss my new products. Health benefits of drinking coffee. Some potential health benefits associated with drinking coffee include protection against type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, liver disease, and liver cancer. Coffee consumption may also support cardiovascular health. The sections below cover these benefits in more detail. Coffee and diabetes. Coffee may help protect against type 2 diabetes. In 2014, researchers who gathered data on over 48,000 people found that those who increased their coffee consumption by at least 1 cup per day over 4 years had an 11% lower risk of type 2 diabetes than those who did not increase their intake. A 2017 meta-analysis concluded that people who drank 4 to 6 cups of either caffeinated or decaffeinated coffee each day appeared to have a lower risk of metabolic syndrome, including type 2 diabetes. Coffee and Parkinson's disease. Various studies have suggested that caffeine, which is present in coffee and many other beverages, may help protect against Parkinson's disease. One team concluded that men who drink over 4 cups of coffee per day might have a 5-fold lower risk of Parkinson's disease than those who do not. The findings of the 2017 meta-analysis suggested a link between coffee consumption and a lower risk of Parkinson's disease, even among people who smoke. This team also found that people who drink coffee may be less likely to experience depression and cognitive conditions such as Alzheimer's disease. However, there was not enough evidence to prove that drinking decaffeinated coffee helps prevent Parkinson's disease. Coffee and other liver diseases. People who consume coffee may also have a lower risk of gallstone disease. In 2014, researchers looked at coffee consumption among people with primary sclerosing cholangitis, PSC, and primary biliary cirrhosis, PBC. These are autoimmune conditions that affect the bile ducts in the liver. They found that people with PSC were more likely to have a lower coffee intake than those without the condition. There was no evidence to suggest that coffee intake was different among people with or without PBC. Also, another 2014 study suggested a link between coffee consumption and a lower risk of dying from non-viral hepatitis-related cirrhosis. The researchers suggested that drinking 2 or more cups of coffee every day might reduce the risk by 66%. Coffee and heart health. The 2017 meta-analysis found that caffeine consumption may have at least a small benefit for cardiovascular health, including blood pressure. In a 2018 study, researchers found that drinking 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day may reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by 15%. Drinking 1 to 5 cups daily also seemed to be associated with lower overall mortality resulting from any cause. For those people who have already experienced a heart attack, drinking coffee does not appear to increase their risk of experiencing another or dying as a result. The 2017 meta-analysis, however, also found that there may be higher levels of blood lipids, fat, and cholesterol in people who consume more coffee. These substances may predispose a person to heart problems. Does decaffeinated coffee have benefits or risks? Learn more here. Coffee and obesity. There is some evidence suggesting that consuming coffee may help people lose weight. One 2018 paper indicated that the more coffee the participants drank, the higher their mean reduction in weight, body mass index, BMI, and fat mass. A 2019 study suggested that drinking coffee may have a modest association with weight loss, with a greater association in men than in women. However, these results have not been replicated, so they may not be definitive. Although coffee may provide some benefits in reducing obesity, it is not a substitute for eating a balanced diet and exercising often. Nutritional value: 100 milliliters, about 3.3 ounces OZ of regular black coffee, without milk or cream, is low in calories. That is about one typical cup of black coffee, and it only contains around 2 calories. However, adding cream or sugar will increase the calorific value. Coffee beans also contain polyphenols, which are a type of antioxidant. Antioxidants can help protect the body against free radical damage. Free radicals are a type of waste product that the body naturally produces as a result of certain processes. Free radicals act as toxins in the body and may cause inflammation. Scientists have found links between inflammation and various aspects of metabolic syndrome, including type 2 diabetes and obesity. In 2018, some researchers suggested that the antioxidant content of coffee may offer protection from metabolic syndrome. Although scientists can prove that certain compounds are present in coffee beans, it remains unclear what happens to them once they enter the human body. Risks: drinking a lot of coffee can also have some adverse effects. These may include the following. Bone fractures. Some studies have suggested that women who drink a lot of coffee may have a higher risk of bone fractures. Men with a higher coffee intake, on the other hand, appear to have a slightly lower risk. Complications during pregnancy. Coffee consumption may also not be safe during pregnancy. In fact, there is some evidence to suggest a link between high coffee consumption and pregnancy loss, low birth weight, and preterm birth. Endometriosis. There may be a higher risk of endometriosis among women who drink coffee, but there is not enough evidence to confirm such a link. Gastroesophageal reflux disease. People who drink a lot of coffee may have a slightly higher risk of this condition. Anxiety. Consuming high amounts of caffeine may increase the risk of anxiety, especially among people with panic disorder or social anxiety disorder. Less commonly, caffeine may trigger mania and psychosis in those who are susceptible. Mental health conditions. One study from 2016 concluded that a high intake of caffeine during adolescence could lead to permanent changes in the brain. The scientists behind the study expressed concern that this could increase the risk of anxiety-related conditions in adulthood. Exposure to toxic ingredients. In 2015, a group of researchers found relatively high levels of mycotoxins in commercial coffee. Mycotoxins are toxic substances that can contaminate coffee as a natural product. Some people worry that acrylamide, which is another chemical present in coffee, may be dangerous. Find out more here. Side effects. Although consuming caffeine may offer some benefits, there can be negative side effects if a person drinks too much of it. These side effects may include adverse interactions with particular medications such as certain psychiatric drugs, thyroid medications, heartburn drugs, and antibiotics. Possible spinal bone loss in women who drink more than 300 milligrams mg per day and who do not consume enough calcium. Gastrointestinal problems. An increase in blood pressure. An increase in the risk of myocardial ischemia, which is a type of heart disease if a person consumes coffee during exercise. Fertility difficulties. Negative effects on a growing fetus, such as low birth weight, if a person consumes a large amount of coffee during pregnancy. Irritability and insomnia in nursing infants, if a person consumes coffee during lactation. Dehydration, but this is not conclusive and may be limited to excessive caffeine consumption. Worsened symptoms of certain mental health conditions, such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. An increased risk of suicide. Coffee-specific disorders, which include O-caffeine intoxication or overdose, O-caffeine-induced anxiety disorder, O-caffeine-induced sleep disorder or insomnia, O-caffeine-related disorder not otherwise specified. This ends our video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Thank you. See you all again.